Welcome to No Longer Conformed. I'm Erik Garthe, and we are studying Walk Worthy of the Lord, a study of spiritual growth. In this session, we'll be looking at Psalm 92 and verse 12. This is spiritual maturity. Let's read the larger text that includes that verse. Psalm 92, verses 7 to 15. When the wicked spring up like grass, and when all the workers of iniquity flourish, it is that they may be destroyed forever. But you, Lord, are on high forevermore. For behold, your enemies, O Lord, your enemies, for behold, shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. But my horn you have exalted like a wild ox. I have been anointed with fresh oil. My eye also has seen my desire on my enemies. My ears hear my desire on the wicked, who rises up against me. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. He shall grow like a cedar in Lebanon. Those who are planted in the house of the Lord shall flourish in the courts of our God. They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing, to declare that the Lord is upright. He is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him. If we're going to experience spiritual growth, we need to know what Christian maturity looks like according to God's design. J. Oswald Sanders said, spiritual maturity is not easy to define, but you can tell when it's present. It is the fragrance of the garden of the Lord, the power to change the atmosphere around you, the influence that makes Christ real to others. Here are some of the common characteristics of the spiritually mature. Spiritually mature believers are confident in God. Spiritually mature believers know God personally. Spiritually mature believers seek God's will. Spiritually mature believers are humble servants. Spiritually mature believers follow Christ's example. Spiritually mature believers enjoy obeying God. Spiritually mature believers love God and others. Spiritually mature believers depend on God. Again, that verse 12 of Psalm 92. The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree and grow like a cedar in Lebanon. The palm grows slowly, but it grows steadily from year to year, decade to decade, even century to century. It isn't affected by a lot of rain or snow, nor does it wilt under the burning sun of summer. Neither heavy weight nor strong winds alter its perfect uprightness. It just stands there, yielding its fruit from generation to generation. It continues to bear fruit in old age. The palm tree helps us picture three qualities of the spiritually mature Christian. First, the palm tree grows in the desert. This world is a desert to the Christian, and yet true believers thrive in it, just as a palm tree thrives in the Arabian desert. Enoch walked with God while man became more sinful. Lot thrived spiritually amidst Sodom's wickedness. The dryness of the desert won't produce a wheat crop. The hot blasts of wind from the south are difficult even for the native of the region, and yet date palms flourish and form a screen against the rays of the sun. In an oasis of palms, the shade allows lemons, oranges, and pomegranates to grow. Even a vine will climb up at the trees. Amidst the winds of temptation and persecution, the Christian lives and grows by grace into the likeness of Jesus. The unbeliever is like grass, which is of short duration and easily withered, but the Christian is like the palm tree, which can endure for centuries. Spiritually growing Christians will thrive in all places, in all seasons, in all circumstances, whether easy or difficult. A Chinese proverb says, "Do not be afraid of growing slowly, be afraid only of standing still." Most of the time, we feel as though spiritual growth is an incremental occurrence that could be traced on a graph with a gradual upward sloping line. Ironically, though, it probably looks more like a graph that has periodic upward bursts followed by lingering plateaus. This is understood more clearly when we think about the growth of trees. Trees grow rapidly during a 4 to 6 week period during the spring. During the balance of the year, this new growth solidifies and becomes sturdy. Many times, we will grow and develop much like trees. Spurts of growth will be followed by times of strengthening the growth that has occurred. Most importantly, whether our growth comes incrementally or in spurts, we must remember that Jesus is the vine and we are the branches. Growth of any kind depends on us remaining in Him. You know what I learned about the palm tree? No dust adheres to the leaf of the date palm as it does to other trees. The Christian is called to be in the world, not of it. And the dust or sin of earth's desert will not adhere to the spiritually mature believer. The leaf of a date of a palm stays the same. It doesn't fall off in winter. It's an evergreen, and so is a mature Christian. Second, the date palm feeds on unseen nourishment. The palm tree does grow in the sand, but the sand is not its food. A water source below feeds its taproots, even when the skies give no rain. The life and greenness of the branches are a witness to the root by which they live. In the same way, the spiritual growth and fruitfulness of a believer is a witness to Jesus Christ, the one who gives them life. Someone wrote, "The fullness of Christ is manifested by the fruitfulness of a Christian." The penetrating root of faith in action reaches the fountains of living waters. Christians can grow in this world just as the palm tree does in the desert sand. Joseph grew spiritually among the pagan worshippers of Egypt, and Daniel grew in the worldly decadence of Babylon. And then third, the palm tree produces in old age. Verse 14, "They shall still bear fruit in old age. They shall be fresh and flourishing." The palm tree bears fruit called dates, like bunches of grapes. The best dates are produced when the date palm is from 30 to 100 years old. And some 300 pounds of dates are yielded from a tree annually. The spiritually mature Christian becomes even more useful as he becomes older. Do you know why? Well, it's because he's more aware of his own shortcomings. And so he becomes more patient with the less mature, helping them to grow to maturity. This demonstrates the effect of the principles they have applied from God's Word. The young Christian is attractive, with excitement and energy for Jesus. The older Christian is valuable for ministry, if spiritually mature. He's less attracted to the world's temptations and sin. He's more practiced in the discipleship to Christ. He's more experienced in giving wise counsel. He's more willing to sacrifice for the church's ministry. He's more confident in God's power. He bears much fruit for others to enjoy. God sometimes allows evil men to prosper for his purposes, but they succeed only for a while. Yet the last days of believers are sometimes their best days, and their last work, their best. Tiger Woods, when asked to define his biggest challenge, simply replied, "How I can become a better person tomorrow." I want to give you a question to think about this coming week, and that is, who has been a spiritual role model for you and why? Commit to becoming a spiritual role model for another less mature Christian. You have a great day.